Alright, so trying something new and gonna be, hold on, let me go ahead and do this here. So one of the things that I'm actually going to be trying that's a little bit different is I'm going to be, well, aside from the fact that I've got an entirely new setup, I'm going to be using a little bit of a different voice moving forward just to try things out. So let's go ahead and go to, let's see here. So we've got that. Alright, so hello everyone, welcome one and all. I'm Poltrixie, your Otokonoko. So I've got a couple of different things going on. As you can tell, there's a bit of a different setup in terms of my actual stream setup, as well as the cameras and whatnot. Go ahead and change that so now you guys are able to see that. Alright, so one of the things that I've been working on lately, aside from obviously changing things up in regard to sorry guys. So lately I've been working on what a lot of people call girl voice, so just gonna be working on that, seeing how things are there. Alright, so here we go here. Let me go ahead and we do have the poll set up. So let me go ahead and let's go and change things up just a little bit. Oh, looks like I'm gonna need to change things out a little in terms of the actual appearance of the stream, since it does look like things shifted just slightly. So please don't mind the scuffness as I make some adjustments, just so you know your delicate immersion is not impacted too negatively. So as you can see, here I am. Looks like I do need to adjust the colors a little bit, just because I do have a little bit of not so flattering appearance when it comes to the actual look of my attire and outfit, mainly because of the fact that I do have green screen going on. Alright, so as you can tell, I'm currently cosplaying as Quiet from Metal Gear Solid. Unfortunately, I misplaced quite a bit of it and ended up where I don't have the stockings anymore. They're somewhere, as well as the long black glove. That was one thing that did make the move, but I don't know exactly where it is. I do have the flight glove, however, so at the very least I'm not going to be completely bare when it comes to the actual appearance. Unfortunately, I'm not able to hear things right now. I don't have my monitor set up in terms of the actual ability to hear things. However, welcome to the stream. I'm Poltrixie, certified pole instructor, amateur cosplayer, as you can tell, and lifelong gamer. So today we're going to be playing Metal Gear Solid 3, but I figured since I am Poltrixie, I would actually do a little bit of a Poltrixie for you guys. So welcome, one and all. And let me go ahead and think of a good trick to do. So I did upgrade some things where, I mean, yes, you can see the line in terms of the immersion breaking of my actual top. However, until I actually get like surgery, or until the hormones actually kick in and give me the bountiful booba that I've been praying for all my life, um, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle bus to adapt until then. However, it does leave my shoulders bare, so I'll actually be able to do shoulder mount tricks. So you'll be able to have me do that. And as you can tell, I do have things set up where I've got full coverage in terms of my actual attire. So there's not going to be any slips or drops or anything like that. I do, again, need to kind of work on the lighting setup, mainly um, the actual color correction that I've got going on. Hi, Jen, how have you been? So, as you may be able to tell, I'm currently working on cultivating my girl voice a little bit better. It it used to be where I'd speak with sort of the normal, stereotypical buzzy tone that a lot of people kind of associate with people within our community. Um, trans people. I don't know. um, kind of new to the whole thing, so um, just working on cultivating more of a girl voice. So you may actually hear me practicing that from time to time. But yeah, I've got a new setup. Um, a little bit of an immersion break here, a little bit of an immersion break there. However, working on getting things a little bit. Oh, well, if it's not exactly safe for work or safe for chat, please refrain. But oh, thank you so much, Jen. Um, I've been doing the trans voice lessons work with regard to resonance and stuff. So hopefully that will be a little bit more convincing by the time that I'm done with what I've been working on in regard to that. So just wanted to say hey, do a quick little spin and do a quick little trick for you guys. So there's that. And let me actually, since I do think that we may have a viewer that has not actually come to see the streams before, I'm going to do a trick that's a little bit more advanced just to try to get some um how do we say try to get a little bit more impressive of a trick. Unfortunately, with my current setup, because of the lens limitation, I don't have the ability to show like every everything in terms of like the full area, but that's also limited by the amount of space that I have laterally regarding the actual green screen. But I am working on something that's going to be a little bit more immersive, where instead of appearing in front of a specific background, I'll actually be inside of a specific scene. So for some folks that may or may not have snuck in while I've been um, chatting and blathering, let me go ahead and do a little bit more advanced of a trick. So just going to do a basic invert. And because I am a certified pole instructor, I usually break things down and talk about the different moves as I go through and actually show them off. Even though I am a certified pole instructor, I'm not teaching you guys how to actually perform the moves, because if I were, I'd need to spot you, and well, I can't exactly spot you when I'm, so far away from all of you guys. But this is just going to be a basic invert, so you'll be able to see that. Let me adjust the top, mainly because that's going to be one of those funny things that ends up being a little bit further up the list of tricks. So there's usually 5 levels. There's level 1, where you are firmly planted on the ground. So quick example of that is just your basic roundabout. Level 2, where you're starting to get off the ground, you're starting to do climbs. Also, you're working on trying to do inverts. Level 3 is when you do the more advanced tricks while you're actually inverting or up in the air. You can also do tricks where you're not doing as much of a spin, but you're actually up in and holding your body weight up. As you can probably tell, it has been a little while, and I am um, a little bit softer and rounder than normal. Hopefully, though, getting back into streaming will get me a little bit more motivated to do a lot more poll stuff, so you'll be able to see me demonstrating things as well as um, reacting to tips, subs, and bits just to show things off. But without further ado, a little bit more advanced of a trick, just because I know that there's, or I saw the name of someone who was just checking things out because they usually are supporting another one of my friends, lovely moderator, Omanko Vivi. So that said, I'm trying to think of the best angle for this particular trick. It's just going to be an outside leg hang. And with cosplay, it does end up being a little bit more difficult to actually perform moves, so hold on. Sorry about that, guys. So let me actually remove the... So I'm a dork, and I wanted to get a specific prop to actually go along with the cosplay that I'm currently wearing, because I actually commissioned it twice and made it actually once myself. But they didn't have these fake little flashbangs, so I had to actually improvise and get a prop flashbang that actually is actually a vape juice holder, so you'll be able to see that. Anyhow, there we go. Now that that's not in the way, I'm able to actually grip in to be able to do the move. Not pinned in. Silly cosplayer. You need to use pins. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry to break the immersion. I thought that I had used hairpins, but apparently I didn't. So let me go ahead and there we go. So hairpins are important, especially for cosplay. And as you can tell, I do have everything all covered up in cosplay, so sorry about the immersion break as well as the cosplay malfunction. However, you're not going to see anything because this is not my first rodeo. I've actually been around the block a few times before, and so I usually try to keep things where you're not going to actually accidentally see anything in regard to actual flashbangs. Not this kind of flashbang, but a different kind of flashbang. So, anyhow, let me go ahead and switch things up. Alright, so let's go ahead and flip back over to the other mode, and I need to get the output from... not that... Okay, so output from here comes output from here. So unfortunately, I do have a small issue when it comes to the actual there we go. All right, there we go. So, sorry about that. Sorry about that, folks. So there we go there. And also sorry about the real scuff stream as well as the scuff Poltrix. I am not warmed up at all. So let's... okay. Alright, so video capture device is recording that. Cool, cool, cool. So Peace Walker, Sons of Liberty. Alright, so it has been a long time since I've actually played Metal Gear Solid, and it's been quite a long time since I've actually streamed, so let's see if I remember how to do both of those. And again, trying to work on using the actual, like I said, girl voice training, and trying to keep that from getting a little bit too in the buzzy range that's a little bit what I like to call stereotypical. Unfortunately, when I do get excited, I do have some bad habits where I'll slip back down into the kind of buzzy sound where I'm adding more of a nasal quality to my voice rather than actually lifting and speaking like using the upper resonance, the R1. Also, there are sometimes when I slip into a bit of a falsetto that I like to call the Winnie the Pooh voice. So if I start to sound a little bit more like this and then think, oh bother, that's what I like to call my Winnie the Pooh voice. Again, that's something that just kind of a weird bad habit of mine that I'm working on breaking. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack into this game. Let me just make sure that everything is looking good. And it looks like our pre-roll is off for another couple of minutes. Let me go ahead and... so for anyone that's not subscribed, going to play a quick ad to make it so anyone that wants to come in and see what's going on can see that. Alright, so we now have 30 minutes of time there. And let me go ahead and... let's see here. Take a look here. Alright, so that's looking good. Let me go ahead and I think that... okay, 23 seconds remaining. 29. Or, wait, no. Okay, so... that's really weird. I thought that me running the ad preemptively was going to actually... oh well. Anyhow, let's go ahead and get into Metal Gear Solid 3. Again, it has been a long time since I've actually played Metal Gear Solid a lot longer than it has been since I actually streamed. So um, let's see which one I forget how to do first. 1964, Earth's mission and Operation Snake Eater. The origin of the Metal Gear series begins in 1964, the height of the Cold War. Naked Snake, the man who would later become the legendary soldier known as Big Boss, heads into Soviet territory to help the scientist Sokolov defect into the West. However, the mission ends in failure and Snake's mentor, female soldier known as the Boss, unexpectedly defects into the Soviet Union. The fate of the world hangs in the balance. Snake is forced to question the true meaning of loyalty as he embarks on a lone mission to kill his former mentor. Let me actually go ahead and one of the things here, yeah, it looks like the sound of the actual game is coming through a bit loud for you guys. And let me go ahead and turn on monitor here and advanced audio properties and capture device 3, turn on monitor and output. Alright, now I can hear the game and we'll be able to get started on this. So I do have a PS3, so I'm using the original PS3 controller. And my cosplay is digging into me. Alright, checking data. Konami. I used to be a huge Konami fangirl back in the day, but with their decisions that they had, point. So it looks, oh, right, because this is an HD remaster. Used to be a big Konami fangirl back in the day, but then they started doing all those weird things with their IPs, such as Silent Hill, their poor choice when it came to Kojima, as well as what they did with the Castlevania series. I didn't quite like what they were doing with that, so that was a little bit frustrating and a lot of bit annoying with that. For anyone coming into the stream, welcome, welcome. We're going to be ad-free for the next while, so let's go ahead and get started, and let's revisit one of the games that I played way back in college. So I need to remember that X is confirm. That's one of the things that, oh, okay. So Metal Gear 2. That's right, because I do have the subsistence version. I'll be able to play through a lot of the games now. And, whoops, I think that my stream title and stuff was messed up. Hold on, let me go ahead and update that. There we go. Okay, so for anyone that was coming in through the other stream setup that I was coming in through, sorry for anyone that was expecting Marin Kitagawa. However, here I am, quiet. Not very quiet, obviously, since I am a streamer and I am talking. Anyhow, let's go ahead and transferring. It's not transferring. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. And let's see here. Do I like... Let's lie and say that we're playing Metal Gear Solid for the first time. Even though I plan on doing a playthrough of the full series, chronological order, actually. So we'll be starting off with Snake Eater, then we'll be moving on to Peace Walker, and then Ground Zeroes, Phantom Pain, and then starting on Metal Gear, and then Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake, then Solid, Solid 2, and Solid 3. Okay, so it looks like there was an additional ad that played. Sorry about that, guys. I thought that I had played the ad to actually get rid of things there, but it does look like I was a little unsuccessful with that, so now that we're all here, we're all back, let's go ahead and get started. And, you know what? Let's go hard.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Alright, so... Alright, let me know, guys, if the game volume is too high or too low. Laurie Allen. Oh, for anyone that is unaware, they are making a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. I think that they're going to be doing a remake for the full series.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet. Approaching Soviet
But the first one that they're going to be remaking is 3.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute. All right. Ready to go.
And then after 3, they're going to be remaking the other ones, but they just announced the remake for for Metal Gear Solid 3, or Metal Gear Solid Delta, yesterday at the PlayStation announcement. I forget what it was actually called. Anyhow,
Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing? Approaching release point. 10 minutes to drop off. Hey, are you deaf? He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
alright, let me actually make some adjustments here,
Depressurization complete.
just in case you guys start chatting and want to see each
6
other and
minutes to
not
drop
miss
off.
anything.
Opening rear hatch.
Alright, I think that's well, technically I could do that. I need to really work on doing some stream overlays just so I have them. But also I need to work on
External temperature minus 46 degrees
some
Celsius.
emotes because I do
2 minutes to
have
drop off.
some there.
Stand up.
Oh my god, I forgot that I had the DualShock.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to
Oh,
get frostbite from the
you guys have no idea how much I've actually
1
missed
minute to
having
drop off. Move to the rear.
haptic feedback when it comes to actual gameplay. So normally I'm a PC gamer and they don't exactly have DualShock or Rumble when it comes to that, so
Status okay. All
I'm
green.
being a little bit of a dork and enjoying that.
Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spread your wings and fly. God be with you.
Alright, so... Hideo Kojima.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally
So,
given us the green light
chat.
for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
Let's
No,
see
the
here.
virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation
There
ritual.
is quite a lot
Now, don't
of
get cocky, this isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
dialogue and a lot of
About
video.
2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov.
We actually do that
He's
because
head of the
I was getting a little bit
OK-754
of
design
a
bureau, one of the
second
Soviet's top secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
blah, blah, blah. A little bit of an echo just because it was playing out of the speakers
The very
on
same.
my
On April the 12th,
monitor as well
1951,
as
the Soviets achieved
through
first
the
manned
headphones.
spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established design bureau.
Yes, Hexwish, I am.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau. That's quite a success story. So why do you want to
I am back and
seems he's
back
become
in
afraid of his
action.
own creations.
And also,
afraid?
Call it a
I'm
crisis
not
of
sure
conscience.
if you ever saw it to begin with, mainly because it was one of the things that I,
Not exactly. One of his conditions
it was
that
well
his family
over a
was
year
also
ago.
to be taken safely to the West. He used a mole
I
to get
actually
his family out
have
first and succeeded in
a
sneaking
hat that
Sokolov
I'll be
over
able to
the
wear
Berlin Wall
anytime
shortly
that
after.
I either am doing horribly or if you guys want to chicken me.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
So if I'm ever doing horribly in the game because of the way that they have it when it comes to
2 weeks and more than 600
Metal Gear Solid
miles to get from
5,
the research facility
where
in the Soviet
if
Union
you're
to
doing
Berlin,
poorly there, you have the option of wearing the chicken hat.
and it was only a week later
We do
that
have
had
this,
something
so
much bigger
I
on
could
our
be quiet, dressed as
hands. October the
if she's
16th,
doing horribly on a mission,
President
where
Kennedy
she's
received word
wearing
that
her,
Soviets
the
were in
chicken
process
hat.
of deploying
So we do
intermediate
have
range
that
ballistic
as an
missiles on
option
Cuba.
and an incentive. Let's actually go ahead and put
Soviets
that
dismantled
over
the
here
Ruth missile.
just so you guys
At the same time, he announced
can
a
sort of
naval
see it.
blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba.
and there we go
But the
there.
Soviets didn't back down. Instead,
But
placing
yes,
their armed
welcome
forces on
back,
secondary
Hex.
alert. Soviet transport ships
It
carrying
took me
missiles
for
continued on course
took me a
towards Cuba.
while.
US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war.
Oh,
Frantic negotiations
thank
were
you,
conducted
Wong.
with UN's emergency security
Add gain
council
filter
and
to microphone.
channels
Okay.
to end
For
the hair
viewers
trigger
without
standoff.
lowering game volume. Okay.
Finally, on October 28th, the Soviet Union
10
agreed to remove
for-
its missiles from
Oh,
Cuba.
also,
So
because
the
of
world
the
avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the
all right,
Soviets to pull
so
the
let
missiles
me
out,
actually go
they had to
ahead
make a deal.
and
You mean the one where the U.S. agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
maybe 11
No. The
decibels.
Jupiter IRBM
Okay,
deployed in
so
Turkey were
10 for the
obsolete.
voice.
They
So
get rid
you,
of them anyway.
let's see here.
No strategic value whatsoever.
Because I do have
The
a
US
separate
or the
setup
Russians.
there,
The Turkey deal was a ruse. Cover story
without
was
lowering the
fed
game
to the intelligence
volume,
agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really
and
want?
11 for
They wanted us
Game.
to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
sorry about
At
that.
the time, we
Sorry
had
about
no
that,
idea.
folks.
We were running out of time.
So one of the things that I
It's either
do
give up
have
Sokolov
is
or
a
risk full-scale
separate
nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President
and
Kennedy
cool.
gave in to
I am so
Khrushchev's
glad
demand.
that Jen
The next day, I got
Sent you?
Sokolov out of the hospital.
yes,
handed him
I
over
do
to
have
agents on
a
the
separate
eastern
sound
side.
system
Sokolov kept
that
on
I'm
screaming,
actually
"Save
plugged
me," until he
into,
disappeared from my sight.
so I'm able to actually adjust the volume
Then a month ago,
manually
we
for the mic
received some
instead
new
of having to
information
adjust
from
it
one of
in
our moles.
OBS. So
Sokolov.
I'll be able to adjust that and keep
Yes.
things there.
He was taken back to
Um,
the research facility
yeah.
and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under
I've been
KGB's
okay, Hex.
supervision.
How have you been?
What's more, it's on the verge
And
of
welcome,
completion.
welcome, Wong.
So what kind of
Um,
weapon is it? Something to do with
unfortunately, with
space
the
rockets?
game, I won't be
No,
able to show off the
missiles.
pole tricks right
Same
now,
technology.
but I do have
I
the
guess you're right. We
abilities
don't know
to
the details,
switch
but it
that.
appears to be a new kind of nuclear device.
I should
For
probably
half a year
just
now, the
order
Soviets have
a
been conducting frequent nuclear tests at
separate
Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
camera
We're
switch
talking about a secret
for
weapon
that.
so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Yeah, I've
Is
been well.
Sokolov
I've
still
been
in the
good.
facility?
As you might be able to
No,
tell, I've been
according to our
working a little bit
intelligence, he's in
on
Selino-Yassk,
both the stream
place in the
setup,
mountains
so
about
things
3
are going
miles
to
to
be
the west that's known
a
as the
bit
Virgin
different
Cliffs.
here. I moved, so I had to
Virgin
deal with
Cliffs.
that, and
Nice
also
name for a virtuous mission.
working
They
a
moved
bit
in
more
there just
on
recently.
a
Why?
little bit more of a convincing
Apparently,
girl
they're
voice.
conducting a field
So
test of the
you'll
weapon,
probably
but it's our
hear
best
me
chance to get him back.
making
This
adjustments
mission
here
would
and
never
there,
have been possible if he was still in
trying
the
to get
research
the
facility.
right amount of
This
pitch
is
and
our last
timbre
chance.
and
Sokolov
resonance
must have
when it
known
comes
that
to
too when he contacted
yeah,
us.
actually speaking. But as a streamer, um, he'll probably have me switching things around here and there. And for anyone that's new to the game, even though it came out nearly 20 years ago, I'm sorry for talking over all of that. So basically, to summarize what's going on, there's an issue with the Soviets and the US where there's a
Listen up,
scientist
Jack.
that wants
Your
to
mission is
defect
to infiltrate
and
Selino-Yassk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of
Jack
Sokolov
is
and
being
bring him
sent
back to
in
the
to
west.
actually exfiltrate the scientist, Sokolov, and
If we don't get
that's what's
Sokolov
going
back
on
before
there.
that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking.
Alright, so
Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes.
So, Wong, one of the things
Once
that,
it's complete, the
one of the
gunship's
reasons
arm will
why I
latch onto
actually
the
had the
balloon and pull
volume
it up.
lowered
The Fulton
on
surface-to-air
the
recovery
microphone
system.
setup
I'm
for
familiar
mic
with
2
the theory.
is because there's
Take it easy.
quite a bit of background
combat
noise, so just wanted to see if you guys are hearing a
think
lot of like
Sokolov is up
buzz
to
or
it?
hum when it
The
comes
shock
to
will
the
be less
microphone,
than during a
because
parachute jump, and the
I was
arm
getting
can
a little
handle
bit
up to
of
500
feedback.
pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talent?
She's equipped with two 6-barrel 20mm
Alright,
Falcon
so
cannons, as well as two
testing,
40mm
testing.
machine guns.
Okay,
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
there we go.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit.
So
If all
right
goes well,
now,
it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner,
Okay.
breakfast.
and all the rest of
There
your
we go.
meals in the jungle.
yeah, I wanted to keep the game volume a little bit lower than me, but also didn't want to lose out on too much volume on the actual game. So one of the things that streamers will usually do is, while we're monitoring the actual sound output, is we'll make sure that we're like in the yellow area and not peeking too much into the red. And sometimes I would peek into the red, so yeah. Looks like the peaks are just barely entering the red, so hopefully it doesn't get too peaky, where it's crackly and noisy and annoying. All right. Okay. Fantastic. And also, I'm able to hear myself a little bit better. So I'll be able to actually do a bit of an assessment when it comes to actually using girl voice. So one of the things I want to really avoid is the sort of buzzy sound that you sometimes hear when people are first trying to actually use girl voice. So you may hear me sort of slip into bad habits and then try to correct on the fly. So I could sound like 30 different people in one stream, but
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory.
That's just
and
part
somebody
of
might be
the
listening in.
streaming experience,
From
I
here on
guess.
out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other.
Code names.
Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to
Naked.
mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call
Well,
you?
Let's see, I'll be
Unfortunately,
Tom. Call
Wong,
me Major
I am a little bit of a scuff
This will
streamer,
be a
so
sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the
I
enemy.
streamed
You must
like
leave no
so.
trace of your presence.
Fun fact, guys.
Is that clear?
Tomorrow,
This kind of
not
infiltration
tomorrow,
is the
but
Fox unit's
Saturday is going to be
specialty.
my
In other words,
2-year
weapons and equipment to procure on site.
affiliate
That goes for
anniversary.
food as well.
So
You're completely naked,
that
just as your name
is
implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I
a bit
liked
of a weird
snakes.
hiatus
I suppose
because
calling me
I
Snake
took like
was your idea of a joke,
an entire
too.
year off, mainly because
Good
I
reason for
was
that. I'll
banned
tell you later
for
when the time is right.
what I think is
Gotcha.
unfair
Getting back to the
treatment.
subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed
However,
myself?
You've
there
been
were
issued
a lot
knife
of
and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
extenuating
about the
circumstances
backpack.
around my
I lost it in
banning,
a tree on the way down.
mainly because I am trans cosplayer
I
and
see.
a
Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
pole fitness instructor.
problem. I can see it from here.
I
It's
tried to
stuck
do
on
a
a branch.
combination of all three, and
climb a
ended up
tree,
where
stand in
one of
front
the
of a tree that's
cosplays
covered in ivy
several
and press
times
the action
actually
button.
wasn't
I'll be
cooperating.
monitoring your
So,
progress over the radio.
as you can
We
probably
can't
tell
risk
now,
violating
I do
Soviet
have
airspace, but I'll be
a
in
lot
the
of
gunship.
safeguards in place.
My frequency is
So I don't actually
140.85.
have what
I'll give you a call
Billion,
if I need to talk to you.
if you're familiar with them,
You need to talk to me.
they
use
like to
the
call
send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
flashbangs. So, not these flashbangs, but the bad kinds of flashbangs. Alright, so let's go ahead and check things out. Let's see here. I think, hold on. Let me, okay, so we don't actually have anything weird going on there. Just wanted to make sure. Anyhow, here we go. So instead of electrical tape, I do have like triple safeguards in place in terms of I'm currently wearing a ballet belt as well as fake silicone over my bits just to flatten things out because I suck at tucking. And also I have the cosplay obviously in place, and instead of the actual screen accurate cosplay, I have some modifications that keep things a little bit more contained. Alright. But yes, I actually probably need to invest in garment tape at some point. So I'll be doing all sorts of streams while cosplaying as different characters. I'll also be doing pole fitness in those various outfits as well. Yes, I do have a YouTube as well. I don't have all that many VODs up there, and I don't really keep VODs here mainly because of the history that I've had with the VODs being taken down. And also, I completely missed it. Thank you so much, Wong, for the follow. Let's see here. Order again. Let me reorder yet another HDMI capture card, because I do have a different camera that is set up for the pole area. In the meantime, while I'm playing this game, instead of being able to quickly switch back and forth, I will need to manually switch the HDMI cable to be able to actually look at the camera there. I do have two cameras set up. Oh, well, cosplay isn't too hard, Jen. It's really a matter of how accurate you want to be with the character. Alright, let's see here. I'm playing hard mode, so stamina, once we get to a certain point, will be a little bit more difficult. That's right. So, as you can tell, using the analog stick, I'm able to adjust the speed that Naked Snake is moving at. However, unbeknownst to me as a wee lass, if you use the actual D-pad, you'll be able to actually do what's called stalking. So, if anyone has ever walked through the forest or the woods and tried to be silent,
it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose weapon from the backpack.
moving sort of in the heel-toe kind of
will be displayed in a window
setup
in the
and
upper
arrangement.
left. From that list, choose the weapon you want
But
to
also,
equip and press the enter button.
what character
For other
are you
equipped
interested in
items,
cosplaying,
just do
Jen?
the same thing from item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop.
Yes, sneaking.
If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a
Okay.
Mark 22 Hush Puppy
Well,
tranquilizer gun.
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor.
cosplay-wise,
However, the suppressor will
I would
deteriorate every
recommend
time
that
you
you
fire.
try
Once its
just
durability reaches
finding a
zero, the
character
noise
that
suppression effect will be gone.
either
don't
you
get
feel
too
like you
trigger
could
happy with
really
The
embody,
suppressor's durability is shown in
or
the
if
icon.
you want to be
Any weapons and equipment
a
beyond
little
what you're
bit more
carrying now,
devious, you could
you'll have to
find one
find
that
as you
either
go.
they like
I have to
or
find my
has
own
different
weapons and
qualities
equipment.
that might
Whose
be a little
crazy
bit
idea
more
was this anyway?
Solo covert
dominating
actions are standard
in
Fox
terms
operating
of
procedure.
what you'll be able to
Can't
actually
leave any traces of your presence. No weapons,
portray.
equipment, footprints, sweat, or
So,
bodily waste.
say for example,
The
if
same goes
you
for bullets and cartridges too. Your
are more
presence in enemy
voluptuous,
territory is
or
already a
if you wanted to
violation of
do
international conventions of
something a little
warfare.
bit more
There
forceful,
aren't supposed to be any
you could
American
do
soldiers
something
in
like
Russia.
a
It could spark
strong
an
female
international
character.
You can't let
You could
anyone see
do
you.
maybe
You can't
Lady
let the enemy know you're
Dimitrescu.
there. This is a
There
stealth
is
mission.
a
You're a
8-foot
ghost
height
snake in
requirement for
every
that
sense
one
of the
though,
word.
as
There'll
well
be no
as
rescue if you're
Booba
captured.
the size
The
of
military and US government will deny any
award-winning
involvement in the
pumpkins.
affair.
Then I'll just have to take care
But
of
that
myself,
is something that you
huh?
could try.
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert
Oh, okay.
ops
So
like this
less
one
domineering
is
and
issued a
more
potassium cyanide capsule.
submissive.
Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into
Yeah,
thinking that I'm
so
really
pumpkins
dead.
on one's
So
body
how do I come back to life?
aren't exactly
Just take the
in
revival.
the cards for
You
everyone.
mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long,
Ow.
nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests
Oh?
entirely in your hands.
A real one-man
I
army.
may or may not
Relax,
have
there's a
an,
support team ready to back you up over
Takamaki
the radio.
jumpsuit. I
I'll
may
introduce them
have
to you.
cosplayed
This
as
time,
Panther before.
Survival is of utmost importance. The first member
Let
of the
me
support team will be in
actually,
charge of monitoring your
find
physical condition, acting as a
that.
medic, so to speak,
See if I have
as well
that
as
post
recording your
actually.
mission data. She's a
Let's
member
see
of Fox
here.
as well, and
Not
she's
that
here on the
one.
gunship with me.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
Let's
My
see
name,
here.
It's John Doe.
I don't
And
actually
they call
have
you
that
Jack for
cosplay
short.
there.
You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means
Maybe.
nothing on the battlefield.
Maybe.
After a
Oh.
week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back
check
alive.
Here?
My frequency is 145.73.
Have I ever tweeted that?
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also
See
records the
here?
state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
That is
Speaking
quite
of snakes,
an interesting
You remember the
decision
boss,
there.
don't you?
Let me...
A legendary soldier and your mentor.
Let's see here.
Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you?
Let's see here.
How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me.
So yes, I do have an on cosplay.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can
Oh,
tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission.
Don't have an actual picture of
You
it,
didn't need
but
me
I
anymore.
have
But there were still so many things
I have
wanted you to
cosplayed
teach
as
me.
on before.
No,
I
I've
even
taught you
have
everything
an
you needed to
on,
know about fighting techniques.
derivative
I taught you all I could.
beanie that I
The
made.
rest you needed to learn on your own.
More of for
Techniques, sure.
shadow
But
on
what about how to think
or
like a soldier?
fake on, as
How
she
to
might be
think
called.
like a soldier? I
Um,
can't teach you that.
I
A soldier needs
got
to be
Persona
strong in
5 to
spirit,
actually
body,
play,
and technique.
but
And
never
the only
actually
thing you can
played
learn
it.
from someone else is technique.
So I'm
In
utter
fact,
trash when it comes to
technique
that.
doesn't even matter.
No
What's
worries,
most
Jen.
important
That's
is
fine.
spirit.
That's fine.
Spirit and body are like
And
two
if
sides
anyone,
of a single
you know,
coin. They're the same
Can't
thing.
hang out for
I
forever.
can't
If
teach
that's
you how to
okay
think.
too.
You'll just have to figure it
And
out
if you
for
have to
yourself.
put me on mute, that's
Listen
okay.
to me, Jack.
Or
Just because
technically,
soldiers are on the
I guess
same
one of
side
the
right
things
now doesn't mean they always will be.
is
Having personal feelings
technically
about
don't
your
mute
comrades
me,
is
but
one of the worst sins you can
put me
commit.
down to like
Politics determine
volume
who you
1,
face on the battlefield. And politics
just
are a
so
living
it
thing.
continues
They
to
change
keep
along
you
with the
as
times. Yesterday's
active
good
viewer,
might be tomorrow's
but
evil.
Is
view
that why
count
you
doesn't really
abandoned
matter.
me?
No, it
Mainly
had
because
nothing to do
I'm
with you.
basically
I already told you,
re-zeroing
Jack.
at this point,
I was on a top
starting
secret
over
mission.
from 0.
A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born
So
fighter.
I wonder if the boss
but you're
would
not
actually
quite a
go with
soldier.
the sentiment of
A
good
soldier
soldiers
is a
follow
political
orders
tool, nothing more.
that they
That's
used
doubly true if he's a
in
career
the Clone
soldier.
Wars.
Right and wrong have no place
that
in
Star
his
Wars-
mission. He has
Star
no
Wars
enemies
series.
and no
Ah.
friends. Only the mission. You follow the
Guys,
orders
girl
you're
voice
given.
is hard.
That's what being a
It's
soldier
really hard
is.
to keep up the
I
girl
do whatever
voice.
I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier
Yes, Wong.
or just another
I do
man
have an
with a
on
gun.
cosplay.
There's a saying in the Orient: loyalty to the end.
Yes, stay
Do you know what
hydrated.
it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones
Do
who
I
dictate the
have a
missions.
hydrate button?
Then who does?
Hold on.
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times.
I do not.
As long as we have loyalty to the end,
Channel
there's no point in believing in anything. even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your code name is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a
I'll
snake.
work on that
The
one.
Cobra unit. A group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world.
Again,
As long as you've
so
got a
to
legendary
summarize
hero backing you up,
things,
you'll be
I
fine.
was
Isn't
streaming
that right,
a lot
Snake?
and
Yeah,
doing
I
a lot
can't
of
think of
poll
anyone else
stuff
I'd rather
while
have with me.
streaming,
Oh,
and
one more thing,
built up
boss.
quite a following.
It's good to hear your
But
voice
then,
again.
because of the ban taking
Same
me
here.
out for a
After
year,
all,
I
who
had
knows if either
to
of us will make
basically
it out
restart,
alive.
and then I
Snake,
moved, so
you were always best
I
at
wasn't
urban
able to
warfare
actually
and
really get
infiltrating
back
buildings.
into it
But this is the jungle.
before the
Survival
move,
is
mainly
going to be
because I
key.
was
Those CQC techniques I taught you
doing
are
all
sure
sorts
to
of
come in
stuff there.
handy.
CQC. Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your
But
first
yes,
actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
it's all right.
Where are you, boss?
A
Next
lot
to the
of it was
major?
mental.
The
I mean,
boss is
I love
communicating
streaming.
with
I
us by
love getting
radio from
on.
aboard a
I love being
Permit-class
able to show off
submarine in
my
the Arctic
appreciation and love of
My
Pole.
frequency is
As well as game.
141.80.
I mean, I
Call me
used
if
to
you need my
game like
advice on
hours
battle
on end,
techniques.
and
Gotcha.
Your mission is
unfortunately,
to retrieve Dr. Sokolov.
with
Dr.
getting into
Sokolov is being
streaming,
held in an abandoned
I
factory
ended up
located to the
where
north
I'd
of your
only
current
game
position.
while I was streaming, and
Avoid
then
heavy
I
combat
ended up
and
not
don't let
gaming so
anyone
much when
see
I
you.
wasn't.
Don't forget
So
that
I
this is
ended
a
up
stealth
where
mission.
I didn't always enjoy gaming without the sort of
Try to remember some of the
dopamine
basics of
rush that
CQC.
came with streaming. Let's see here. It does look like there's a little bit of a overlay
Commencing
or
virtuous mission
let's see
now.
here. Do you have any filters over this? No, you don't. It's weird. I'm seeing two totally different things. Yeah. I mean, you could do what I do when it comes to different cosplays and stuff. When I'm like, oh, hey, I could spend money on that. Or I could make it. So, as you may be able to see, I do have a sewing machine over here behind the chicken. Let's go and whoop. So, unfortunately, because of my former days of playing Nintendo, I don't always remember that X is the actual confirm. So, okay, so. Oh, that's right. So, because I am playing in hard mode, we don't have the radar. Instead, we have the AP sensor, so the anti-personnel sensor, that will react while I'm playing. And, oh, so, oh no, that's terrible. But such is life where jobs in life, jobs in life come and get in the way of everything, so that's an unfortunate thing. Oh, nice. But yes, so one of the things that I never knew is that, well, hold on, let me fix something here. There we go. Now I can actually move around a little bit more. So one of the things that I never knew, until, I don't know, a couple of years ago, but before I actually replayed Metal Gear Solid 3, is that there's moving using the analog stick, and you can sort of run, you can walk, you can slow down, but if you want to be absolutely silent, you can use the actual D-pad to do the sneaking and stalking mode, where your footsteps barely make any sound, so it's going to be a lot more on the stamina meter, but it's also going to be a lot more quiet, and since I am playing on hard mode, we may need to actually use that instead. That's right. Moving while crouched isn't something that was possible in 3. They did use it in 4 and 5, but not in 3. Whoop! I'm in the swamp. I don't want to be in the swamp. I mean, I want to be in the swamp, but I don't want to end up sinking too far in the swamp. Also, Jen, I need to actually work on getting accessories. I do have a couple cute outfits. Oh god. Sorry, Gator. Quite a few cute outfits that I ended up getting. Basically, because I missed out on a lot of my childhood when it comes to being able to wear what I wanted to when I was a wee lass. I basically have beginning wardrobe for basically an early 2000s thought. You know, the tight Abercrombie t-shirts, the low-rise jeans, low-rise or die, baby. Mainly because I just, I don't know, I like that aesthetic more than the actual high-waisted, even though high-waisted would be a little bit more comfortable. Fair, fair. Ah, gotcha, gotcha. Fair.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage
I'm
them
sure
in
that she
battle
did.
either. This is a stealth
Robbers
mission.
can
Got that?
absolutely be fun.
The Major
and
is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission
definitely
depends on
cute,
how well
but
you use your
um,
camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting
the
Camouflage from the
whole
survival viewer. The
basically having
uniform
to strip
option
to
lets you
use the
pick your
bathroom
uniform, while the face
just doesn't
option lets
really
you
fully
change your
appeal
face
to me,
shape.
mainly
Choosing
because I have
camouflage that
enough
blends
of
in
that
with
when
your
it comes to
surroundings will
me
help you conceal
wearing
yourself
all
more
of the different
effectively.
jump suits that I wear
Also,
whenever I'm
don't forget
cosplaying,
that
like
anything that moves will stand out in the jungle.
the
If you
on
just stand up
suit,
and
as
run
well
around like an
as the
idiot, you're
Bayonetta
bound to be
cosplay that I
spotted.
have,
But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being
as
noticed.
well as the
You can see how effective your
Ghostbusters cosplay that
camouflage
I
is by
have.
looking at the
Oh,
camo index.
for
The
anyone that
camo
is
index
a
shows
big
how
Metal
well your
Gear fan,
current camouflage
I
blends in
do
with the
have a
surrounding
Sniper
area.
Wolf cosplay as well.
The higher the
I'm not sure
value,
how
the
that's going to
harder you are
react
to spot,
to
and vice
the
versa. The
green
key is to
screen
make
in terms
yourself
of the
one with
keying.
nature. Keep that
Mainly
in mind as you
because
go
of
along,
the way
okay?
that I've got things set up. I do have a little higher tolerance when it comes to the actual green chroma key that's actually set up. So it should actually help with that.
Who's that?
There goes one. Alright, vibrates when detecting life forms, equipped to use, consumes battery when used. All other vibrations will be off when activated, so... yeah. There we go. Alright, so... let's go ahead and... let's go ahead and run around here.
Who's that?
Oh, shh. Okay, so that was definitely not good because I wasn't paying attention at all. Oh boy. Alright, now we're in invasion mode. Someone is getting close, so probably want to move slowly, delicately. Alright.
What's wrong?
Come in, HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We've lost the enemy. Enter high alert.
Alright, there we go.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
Alright, so let's run around here. And, let's see here. Where? Whoop.
Huh? Where'd he go?
Who's that? What's wrong?
Alright, so let's whoop, pay attention to the actual game.
Where did he go?
There we go. There we go. So, tactical reload. Again, it has been forever and a day since I've actually played this game. Oh my god. There we go. Okay, so it's M16E1. So I do have sort of a rock and roll mode. That's right. I'm a dumb. I'm sorry, guys. I completely forgot that I'm supposed to actually scoot along that. Again, it's been years since I've actually played this game, so we'll see how much of it I remember. I've only got one alert. Still terrible. Mainly because, you know, don't want any alerts.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
Alright, so if I recall, this is mostly just a sneak around where I have to make sure that I don't get caught, obviously. But there's no boss fight here yet. This isn't the Ocelot fight, or the Ocelot unit fight yet. So...
Who's that? What's going on?
Ah! Okay, so that didn't go over as well as I thought. Alright, so I'm just gonna...
I see him.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and, cheese it.
I see him.
So my depth perception sucks in real life, so I think that that's translating into the game. There we go. And let's go ahead and put those guys out. So now in evasion mode. And let's just go ahead and change zones once we hit caution. 4, 3, 2, 1. Tick, 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 tick. Tick, tick, tick. There we go. Okay. So, just then slipped into what I want, what I would call my Winnie the Pooh voice. Sort of a falsetto, and definitely not what I'm aiming for when it comes to actually speaking and trying girl voice. So I'm not sure how many of you folks are familiar with the meme, no fetch, only throw with the dog, but the variation that exists for the trans community is the no practice, only girl voice. So, unfortunately, again, I've been kind of working on things, trying to make it where it's a little bit more convincing of a girl voice. Let's go ahead and retrain.
Who's that?
Motherfucker!
What's wrong?
Hush. Go sleep now. Go sleep. is that? Okay. I'm just gonna live here on the roof. And we're going to hang out here. What?
What's that noise?
HQ, please respond.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We've lost sight of the intruder. Going into high alert.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
Alright, so let's go ahead and that's where that guy is.
What's wrong?
Alright, there we go. Now that we're not in alert mode, I can actually advance the story a little bit and advance the plot. Alright, so...
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
So back when I actually played this game the first time, back when I was in college, someone actually brought up a really good point.
What is it?
And
sorry for being
one of the
so
things
late.
that they said that they wished is that they wished that
What does
instead
it
of
mean?
having
It means he's a man
English
of his
voice
word.
acting, basically have the people switch
We've got
from
no time for this.
one language to
Let's get me
another
out of here
because
before they arrive.
like Sokolov here will actually say in a little bit,
Colonel Volgin of Gru.
he actually compliments
know him
Snake
as
on his Russian, so that would actually be really cool if they had like an actor very
He's a
similar
member of the
to
Army's
like say
extremist
a
faction, man who seeks to seize control of
Christoph
the motherland. Ever since the
Christoph
Cuban Missile
Waltz,
Crisis 2 years ago,
the guy that
Khrushchev
played
has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West.
the
Despite resistance and criticism from
the
hawks
Jew
in the
hunter
army
in
and the provincial
Inglourious
authorities,
Bastards. He was also
Khrushchev
in
has managed
Django
to suppress
Unchained.
the opposition so far. But the
If
failure of his
they had
agricultural
someone like
policies
him that
has put
actually
him in a
was
precarious
multilingual like
position.
that, being
And
able
on
to
top of that,
speak in the
tragedy last November.
actual
Kennedy's
languages that
assassination.
the characters are supposed to be
Precisely.
speaking in.
In a sense, Khrushchev
Also,
has lost his biggest partner, and his power
another
base is
thing that
rapidly crumbling away.
an actual
A
actor
certain group is plotting
said
to
at
use
one
this
point
opportunity to
is,
seize power by rallying the anti-government forces,
why am I
overthrowing
speaking
Khrushchev,
with a
and
Russian
installing
accent if
Brezhnev
I'm
and
supposed to be
Kosygin in his
speaking
place?
Russian?
The
Why
mastermind
why
behind this
don't
plot is
I just
Colonel
speak
Volgin.
with my normal
He has
British
control
accent
over another secret
because
weapons
it was
research
a British
facility
person
much
playing
like this one,
a Russian person,
OKB
and
812,
they were
known as the Granin
within the
Design
film
Bureau,
supposed
and
to
is
actually
using it to
be
further his
Russian
plans.
soldiers that were
But
only
that is
speaking
not
in
enough to
Russian,
satisfy
so
him. Now he's
it
plotting to
would make
seize the
sense
secret
that
weapon
instead of
I have
having
been developing here
a
and use it as
Slavic
leverage in his
accent
bid for
on
power.
English, it might be a little bit easier for them to just have like either a natural or a neutral accent, or in the actor's case where he said, "Oh yeah,
Intelligence says
I
that
wanted
they
to
are
do
going
my
to
British
make their
accent."
move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Let's see here.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process.
Oh.
So it would seem.
Fair enough. Oh, what was
Vulcan
the,
will come. I'm sure
thing
of
that they
it.
actually
You must
said?
get me out of here before
So,
then.
Leave it to me.
David Prowse, the,
By the way, your Russian is superb.
David Prowse, the actual actor who played Darth
Where
Vader
you
physically
speak
in the original
from
trilogy,
my mentor.
he, had
Is that so?
basically the,
And now that
British
there's
equivalent
truly a
of
frightening country.
that kind of farmer voice, so,
Having second thoughts.
I think one of the things
No.
that they said was like Darth
I have
Farmer
no
or
love for this place. Let's go.
Darth Bump. I don't quite remember what they actually said.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I managed to get past them.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
Okay.
Freeze!
Uh-oh.
So this is the legendary boss.
Huh?
Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. Huh. What's a crew soldier doing here?
Soldier?
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha! That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
So one of the things that I absolutely love about this is just how campy
Sokolov is
it is. I mean,
Get out
yes,
of here.
it's a serious look
Ocelot
at
never lets his prey escape.
Cold War,
What?
Soviet, era espionage and whatnot. However, again, there are just some moments that are just so campy. And there goes one of the more unrealistic parts of the game. So you can forgive the whole like supernatural aspect that we'll get into later, the whole crazy war machine that is being designed, but the actual physics involved
it feels
that
good to
Ocelot
kill a
would have needed to
comrade, even
calculate
if
to
it is for
actually
the crew.
ricochet with that much accuracy.
Sokolov,
He
take
should
cover.
probably be one of the Lord, what's the name of those guys? You know, the ones that do like all of those trick shots. And it looks like we have the pre-roll ads turned off for a while, so we're good there. Looks like the automatic system is working as intended. So, again, just how campy this is. He makes a cat call, an actual ocelot call, to be able to summon his actual
What is that
groups.
stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
Major!
Yes.
Leave it! Shoot the other one!
Ocelot's Mew when he actually calls his troops. Troops. Guys, voice stuff is hard. I want a girl voice, but voice work is hard. Oh my god. So the reason why I'm working on speaking with this, and the reason that it's tiring out my voice a little bit, is because it's very much so thinner vocal cords, thinner upper vocal cord usage, compared to speaking within my normal range. Well, my more natural range.
Impossible.
When it comes to
You ejected the first
that,
bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do. But testing a technique you've only heard about in the
instead
middle
of
of battle wasn't very
engaging
smart.
with my
You were
actual
asking to have
vocal
your gun
cords,
jam on you.
I could speak up
Besides,
here, but
I don't
again,
think you're
that's
cut
more
out
of
for an
a
automatic in the
falsetto.
first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil.
And it's very soft.
That's more of a
And
revolver
also,
technique.
like I said, this is the Winnie the Pooh voice. Oh dear. Oh Piglet. Oh. That range is a lot. That range is a lot easier because I'm actually completely
was some
disengaged
fancy
with my vocal cords.
You're
But
pretty good.
yeah, falsettoing is definitely not the ideal or the aesthetic that I'm actually going for. Instead of projecting, I think I may actually try to go keep things a little bit looser and a little bit lighter and a little bit further up without actually going into the falsetto range, mainly because it is a lot easier on my vocal cords. Unfortunately, I may
Major,
need to
do you read me?
I read
adjust
you.
the volume on the
Snake,
mic
you all right?
when
I've
I'm
run into a
speaking
few
in
snags.
this
These
particular
guys were after
range, mainly
Sokolov
because
too.
it
Apparently
does
they
have a
were
little
taking
bit
orders
less
from a GRU
control,
colonel
a little
named
bit less
Volgan.
force behind
Gru
it.
Colonel.
Part of an
Because
internal
I'm
Soviet power struggle, according to
not
Sokolov. Something between the
tightening
KGB and
things there.
GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgans.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU?
So,
Snake, sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
so one of the things that I've been sort of actively avoiding and trying to work on in comparison is trying to come up sort of with my own unique voice, but also working on not actually, um, not so much mimicking, but I'm sure that if you've noticed, like a lot of people actually have what I like to call like same voice, where they end up where they sound very, 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 very similar. You can hear a lot of the same intonation or a lot of the same affectations that people end up taking on as sort of like the buzziness or the I mean, it's bad to say, but the stereotypical voice that you sometimes hear, and that's one of the things that I'm like trying to avoid. But obviously, got a lot of work to do. Since this is oh, since this isn't exactly how I speak normally when it comes to day-to-day living. Also, a lot of times I do trip over my words, mainly because one of the things that has plagued me since childhood is my mouth running a little bit faster than I can keep up with naturally. So I end up saying a lot of ums, ahs, ers, and a lot of stuff. It's okay, Wong. I mean, if I really wanted to freak you guys out, I could just go back to the sort of comfortable level of my day-to-day voice, the dude voice that I have. But I mean, you know, I don't really think that that's what people are going to want to hear coming out of a cosplayer dressed up as Quiet. I mean, technically, if I wanted to be accurate, I'd end up being mute throughout the stream, but that's just not exactly the type of gal that I am. Eh. Yeah, so like I said, that's sort of my normal speaking range when it comes to where I usually sit when I'm in what I like to call dude mode. I think maybe instead of like full trans, I'm kind of non-binary because there are some days when I'm like, yeah, I mean, I could just go full dude mode and just be fine with that. But I have actually been working on, like I said, girl voice and being a little bit less stereotypical, a little bit trying to keep things a little bit lighter and a little bit more away from that buzzy kind of range that you sometimes get with people that are first trying out their voice. Huh. Just had a really interesting idea. What if I ended up... What if I ended up, instead of worrying about maintaining the upper pitch, maintaining the upper resonance, and doing more of a soft, sultry, almost ASMR kind of style. I don't know. I'm really just playing around with things. And just then, I almost went partially into falsetto. So I did hear a little bit of the, oh, bother, Winnie the Pooh falsetto voice that I've been trying to avoid slipping into. Oh, of course, of course. Ooh. Trixie's got a shotgun. Trixie's got a shotgun. Oh, Trixie didn't equip the shotgun. I mean, that is what they always say, that resonance is a lot more important than actual pitch. Um, it just is finding and maintaining that certain resonance in the level and the place. Of course, of course.
You okay?
Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best crew has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished.
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we've got some of the best backup we could ask for.
Look.
That's what they were making you build?
Yes. The Shagohod. The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo. Is that thing finished?
No, this is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2?
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
The end.
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
Boss? What's she doing here? I thought that she was on the command center.
Boss?
Uh-oh.
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
No, no, not the bees, not the bees. They're in my eyes. Ah! Just referencing Wicker Man with the wonderful Nicolas Cage because bees. Oh my God, bees! No, no, not the bees. So, totally not sponsored, but me just expressing my love for it. I ended up getting a subscription to Panera for free drinks, basically. And I've been drinking the charged lemonades. Normally I cut it with water,
Let us fight together
so I
again.
just added that to my water. But lately I've been adding that into my water and enjoying the ever-living crap out of it.
Boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, It's time we go to the depths of hell itself.
Also, one of the unfortunate things is that, if
It's
anyone's
raining
familiar
blood.
with the Metal Gear series,
Is he crying?
the Metal Gear series is that Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance was actually, at some point, Kojima was toying with the idea of actually following the Cobra unit. So basically, these folks that, well, aside from Colonel Mulligan here. Oh, that's right. So, Konami went a little bit crazy back in the day and ended up,
Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my
and
country.
ended up,
and to
canceling
my
a lot of their IPs and whatnot. Instead, they focused on mobile games as well as
Boss,
pachinko,
what is this?
and
I'm defecting to the Soviet
some of the
Union.
updated graphics
Sokolov
that
is a little
I'm
gift from my new
thinking
hosts.
of was actually not from the HD
Recoilless
collection,
nuclear
but
warheads.
from the updated graphics that they ended up putting
These will
into
make
the
a fine
pachinko machine. I
gift
was
for
like,
me.
wait a
This
minute,
can't be
Vulcan doesn't
happening.
look like that. Vulcan
Who
looks
is
different.
he?
No,
One of your
Vulcan
disciples?
looks like this in the game, versus the
Are we
appearance
taking
that
him with
he
us?
has
No,
in that
this
pachinko
one is
box.
still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras.
Aw, Jack's just a
He has
cinnamon
not yet
bun.
found an
Too
emotion to
pure.
carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
So, girl stole my slide. Instead, I just have the frame. Oop. Ah!
He's seen my face. We can't let him live.
Now, if you know, you know.
Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
Wait. He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
So again, I've been a lifelong gamer, amateur cosplayer. One of the first cosplays that I ever wanted to make was actually Jack from Metal Gear Solid 3. But finding the actual materials to make the gloves, as well as not having a sewing machine or knowing how to actually sew, I ended up never making that. Instead, I ended up obviously going with the more attainable route and acquiring the straps and whatnot for doing quiet.
Are we done here?
Now,
And
onto
I mean,
Sokolov's
it's
research
pretty easy to
facility.
actually find a black bikini. So,
Shadow
pretty
Heart
easy
is
cosplay to
ours.
actually put together. But, I mean, flight suit,
Drift away.
the particular
My place is
or
within now.
3/5 gloves, 3/5 fingerless gloves, are hard to find, and actually tearing into the types of gloves that would have fit just Wasn't in the cards for me back then. And yes, it is a combination of attire, mannerism, voice, and hair, but again, the thing that I really wanted to avoid was falling
Snake,
into,
can you hear me?
I guess, stereotype.
Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need
When it
emergency
comes
medical
to
treatment.
the
Can you
actual,
move?
girl voice.
You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major. The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
Alright, so here I am. Pretty much performing field surgery on myself. So we have a deep cut. So gonna need to don't need that. Disinfectant. Suture. Styptic. And bandage. Deep cut, so styptic. So disinfectant, styptic, bandage, and suture. Okay. I wasn't sure if I actually needed that. Yay, med packs, yeah. Cut. Deep cut, suture. Bandage, styptic, disinfectant. Bone fracture. Splint. Bandage. Disinfect. Styptic. Bandage. Bone fracture. Alright, so for anyone squeamish, I would not recommend listening to the game audio. Glass pearls. Do you mean like, yeah, if, you're squeamish, don't listen to that, because that was, yeah. Alright, oh, okay.
job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Alright, so I just committed field surgery on myself, and now I'm gonna have to actually set up a Fulton retrieval balloon to haul myself up. Haul myself up in the rescue choppers. Oh, wait, not the rescue choppers. Let's see here.
Shagohod.
Let me get out there. Ooh, thanks. So one of my mods had to do some watermarking on her content, and oh my god, that does take a while. Oh, one of my mods actually does content creation herself. So,
Thanks to the
the
boss and her
watermark,
cobras,
basically, if you look in the
I
lower
have
left
both
corner
Sokolov and the
of
Shagohod.
the stream, you'll see the sort of watermark that I have. Poltrixie Productions, because that's me. But she's her own creator.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Amonko Vivi. So on any photo shoots or photo sets
Apparently
that she
she's
does,
Sokolov's woman.
she actually would need to add her mark to the actual content, just so basically no one can steal it and say that it's their own work.
A nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear.
Me, I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to actually watermarking my photos, mainly because I'm such a small streamer and small content creator. So I don't actually
A
end
kiss
up
of death.
making
You KGB.
We may be able to use
making stuff like that. Mainly because it's just posted to my socials and people don't really
spunk.
throw my stuff around all that much.
Shall we take her
But
back
for
to
people
the
that
base?
actually sell more content,
Perhaps we should.
I can completely
We have
understand
no further use for
the
Sokolov's
need to
research
actually
facility.
make that.
I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
And consequently, everyone is deaf in that chapter. Recoilless does not mean that the actual launcher is silent. The Davy Crockett recoilless warhead launcher. Very, very, very short-lived weapon. Yeah, it absolutely is. It wasn't used all that much. I think mostly like testing, but not actual major deployment, because I mean, one, you're nuking the place, and two, the actual range and accuracy on them, if you've ever played the Fallout games and you've used a Fat Man and you've accidentally blown yourself up, that's pretty much what ended up kind of happening with the Davy Crockett. So it's not very effective as a weapon, but still scary to think of a handheld nuclear warhead that they could use to do that. No, Snake is not going to feel too good after that. And if you've seen the trailer for the new game, the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3, you'll recognize this music. And again, they went for a certain level of camp. Oh, absolutely. So, one of the funny things that, oh, absolutely, it's very much so a Bond-like feel. But one of the funny things that I thought of possibly doing, maybe for a for like TikTok kind of thing or short form content, would be dressed as Quiet and singing this song or lip syncing over it, or in the me being terribly weird, singing it in a Solid Snake voice.
On a tree frog.
It's ordeal, the trial to survive. For the day we see new light. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no
Now, that came out as more Louis Armstrong than actual Snake. Weird. Let me try to get into Snake mode for a moment. Still in a dream, Snake Eater. No, that just sounded weird. Then again, I'm probably freaking everyone out that's coming into chat by flipping from my girl voice into the sort of lower snake-ish range of Colonel. Snake. I've infiltrated the base. So, for anyone that's hearing that, and, yes, so, the story resumes 1 week after, Snake ends up getting his arm broken, thrown off of a, suspension bridge, and, nuked, essentially.
Drone oil pressure and voltage are nominal.
He's fine. We'll just walk it off. We'll eat a ration.
Payload antifreeze system shows no problems. No gusts. All systems go for drone detachment.
Snake, we can't risk a halo jump this time around. Airspace security has gotten tighter since we were last here. We can't get as close to the ground as we did during the Virtuous mission. So instead, we'll be using one of our newest weapons. Snake, you're being given an honor on par with Alan Shepard. This is our last chance. Show your patriotism. If you fail, you'll be back in a hospital bed again, waiting for the firing squad.
I mean, technically, if he is
So how does it feel to be a patient in one of the most advanced ICUs in the world?
Could you do me a favor and tell the suits about visiting hours? I'll never get better with them assaulting me day and night with their questions.
Must be part of the top brass's inquiry.
More like an interrogation.
Very least he'd
According
be,
to them,
you
I'm
know,
a traitor and an accomplice
relaxed.
to the boss's defection.
They're just looking for a
Yes.
scapegoat.
Yes,
Does that mean they're after
Blackbird.
you too?
Let's just say neither one of us is going to be made a national hero.
Well,
Does this
you
mean
actually
Fox is
seen
going to
the,
die?
No.
Helsing
This
Abridged
fox is
series?
still one step ahead of the hounds. The reason I came to see you today, Jack.
It's a really funny,
time for Fox
abridged
to do its
anime take on,
the
Helsing
situation
Ultimate.
has changed. We still got a chance to come out of this one alive.
Yeah, what kind of chance?
Don't get too excited.
And one of the things that,
Yeah.
their version of
Have a cigar.
Alucard
It's Cuban.
says is, that he wants the Blackbird and, that,
This morning, I had a meeting with the CIA.
Integra, doesn't look at his
No.
Christmas list.
Something even bigger. Yesterday, the White House received an unexpected call.
President Johnson?
Yes, I hear you, Mr. Chairman.
It was a hotline call from Khrushchev to President Johnson.
From the head of the Soviet Union?
That's right.
A few days ago, one of our country's
Alright,
main
let
design
me
bureaus,
also do something here.
was destroyed in a nuclear explosion.
Alright,
At
so...
about the same time,
let's see
our
if
anti-aircraft
it
radar
looks
picked up a
with
signature that appeared to come from one of your
I
military
mean, aside from
aircraft. Does
it
any
absolutely
of this
eating
sound
the,
familiar to you? In retaliation, I have placed our armed forces on secondary alert. Depending on your response, I may be left with no choice but to order the military to maximum alert and unleash Armageddon.
Okay, maybe not.
With the help of your predecessor, I was able to survive the Cuban incident. But my power is not as great as it once was. If I am to survive this crisis, I must have your full cooperation.
Alright.
I should have contacted you myself. Did you know that one of our soldiers defected to your country a week ago?
No.
So you haven't heard then. The man who arranged the defection was a GRU colonel by the name of Yevgeny Borosovich Volgin.
Volgin, of the Brezhnev faction.
Let me...
Go on. Who is the soldier?
Her name is the Boss. She's a living legend.
And...
During World War II, she was the one who led us to victory in that war.
There.
In Russia, you know her as Voyevoda.
You mean
No.
the boss?
Okay,
The
so
mother
I
of
am
your
gonna want to
special forces.
order that
Yes, that's the one.
at some
And she
point.
took 2 miniature nuclear shells along with her.
The boss took 2 miniature nuclear shells.
I'm afraid so. I believe they were a gift for her new hosts. The Davy Crockett Atomic Battle Group delivery system was completed 2 years ago. But serious problems were found with the launcher's range and precision. Although they were mass-produced, they've never been deployed in battle.
But Sokolov's research facility was completely wiped out. The whole area is polluted.
I can only offer you my deepest condolences over this terrible tragedy.
So, the boss, with Colonel Volgin's help, stole 2 experimental nuclear shells and took them with her as gift when she defected. Then, shortly thereafter, Sokolov's design lab, a top-secret military research facility, was destroyed by one of these weapons. Am I right so far?
Yes, that's correct.
And the American government denies any involvement in the affair. Is that right as well?
That's correct. We were not involved in any way.
Then what was a U.S. military aircraft doing on our radar screen? It was clearly in violation of our airspace. And yet you say it was not acting under your orders.
That's correct.
You expect me to believe that this was all the work of a single soldier?
I don't know what else to tell you.
The army insists that this is all a ploy on your part.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. Our government had nothing to do with it.
And I would like dearly to believe you.
However, I'm afraid my power over the military has weakened since the Cuban incident. I will need some kind of proof that this was not the action of the American government. You have 1 week. You must catch the boss yourselves and recover the remaining nuclear device. Then, you must find some way to prove your innocence.
Prove our innocence?
Yes, preferably something painful. Prove to me that this is not merely another one of your tricks.
The boss should be close to Colonel Volgin. How about a little co-action?
I would not expect too much if I were you. The political situation here is unstable. And Colonel Volgin is a member of the Brezhnev faction, which seeks to topple my government. 1 week. You have only 1 week. And if it is not too much to ask, do something about Volgin as well.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It means nothing. Call it a modest gentleman's agreement to ensure our continued relationship.
What if we can't prove our innocence?
Then I will be unable to restrain the military. I will be ousted, and they will seek their revenge.
Huh. I just thought of something.
Nuclear
Is it in
attack
poor
on the United
taste for me to
States.
actually be playing,
Leave
this?
the disposal
It's
of the
okay.
situation entirely to your discretion.
Oh, the story in Metal Gear Solid 3 is amazing.
Beginning of a new world.
As campy as it is, it is...
To put it
Ooh.
simply, in order to avoid a
Especially
full-scale
once you
nuclear
know,
conflict, we have to
it's
prove that
good.
America was not involved in that explosion.
And eliminating the boss ourselves will prove America's innocence?
Right. The higher-ups have decided that you're the only one capable of pulling this off. You were her last apprentice. Screw this one up,
Well,
and we'll both be 6 feet under. There's no choice.
Given our current situation, with Russia being... Well,
Are the
Russia
Russians going to be helping us?
being Russia in general.
KGB has promised to lend
also,
us one of
Easter
their
egg!
communications satellites so that you and I can talk to each other.
That's it?
They've also put us in touch with a couple of insiders.
Insiders?
There was a defection in September 1960.
With the whole Ukraine thing, it just...
You remember it?
I don't know.
You mean the
I
two
mean,
NSA
I'm gonna play it
troopers who went
anyhow,
over to the
but
Soviet Union?
just a...
Precisely.
Oh shoot, we do have
Since
tension
then,
with Russia
they've
now.
apparently been training with the
Maybe
KGB
this is an
for
appropriate
exactly
game.
this kind of
An
situation.
appropriate game,
Their
or
code
an
names are Adam and
inappropriate
Eve.
game for me to play. I'm
We've
not
been
really
told
sure.
that Adam has infiltrated Volgin's ranks. We've also arranged for him to provide you with an escape route. You'll need to rendezvous with him when you get there.
True.
Control. Unidentified aircraft detected. Altitude 30,000 feet. It's fast. Estimated airspeed exceeding Mach 3. Bearing south. I'm about to lose it.
And for anyone that's coming in, welcome. Just playing through the Metal Gear Solid 3 series because I am excited. Or Metal Gear Solid series, starting with Metal Gear Solid 3. So, Wong, I'm not sure if you were here during the first time that I said it. However, I'll be playing through the series in chronological order. So you'll be able to see some of the way things went down. Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 are going to be old MSX titles, so they're going to look very similar to the Nintendo Entertainment System in terms of graphics. So we will be taking a step down from the updated graphics of the HD collection that we have here on the PlayStation 3. And yes, this is actually just the PlayStation 3 version. There was another version that was released on the PlayStation 4. They are working on a re-release of the HD collection, Metal Gear Solid 3. Well, not 3, sorry. Of the other
This is
two
Snake.
games
Do you read me?
Loud and clear.
in
Glad to see you
the
landed safely.
remaster that
I
they're
had blown
letting,
pretty far off
they're
target.
releasing on
Snake,
the PS5.
let's go over your mission objectives one more time. Rescue Sokolov. Find out what's happened to the Shagohod, then destroy it. And finally, eliminate the boss.
Eliminate the boss.
This mission will be codenamed Operation Snake Eater.
Because I'll be taking on the boss in our Cobra unit, right?
Don't forget about Colonel Volgin.
I'm not a hired killer.
I know, but that was the Kremlin's demand.
Demand? You mean it wasn't just a request?
We'll be starting
What's it to
here
us if the Khrushchev regime is threatened by
in
the
'63.
If supporting the current regime helps us avoid a nuclear
Playing Snake Eater,
exchange,
and then I think
And what are the
67
CIA's
or so
demands?
Our priorities are the rescue
in
of Sokolov and
Peace
the
Walker.
destruction of the Shagohod.
Then
Roger that,
1985,
Hold on, Snake.
What
year
now?
I was born,
I'm changing my code.
with
It turns out Tom wasn't the
Ground
most
Zeroes
auspicious
and
choice.
The Phantom Pain.
Well, the truth
Then
is, when I chose my
1990
codename, I
with
picked the wrong one.
The wrong one.
Metal Gear
Did
series,
you ever see
and
the movie
then
The Great Escape?
2000s
Came out
with
last year.
Must
Metal
have
Gear
missed that one.
Solid,
Anyway,
and
it's based on a true
2020
story
something,
about prisoners who
Metal
escaped
Gear
from
Solid
a POW
2,
camp in Nazi Germany.
and
The
then
prisoners dig 3 tunnels as part
Metal
of
Gear
their plan,
Solid
but
4.
the Nazis find 2 of the tunnels before they're finished.
And if
Prisoners
I
succeed in escaping
am
by
crazy
using the
enough
last
for it,
remaining tunnel.
because I
The
do have a
names of
copy
those
of it,
3 tunnels were Dick, Harry, and Tom.
we'll also
I get
do
it.
Metal Gear
You used the
Rising
name of the tunnel they
Revengeance,
escaped in as your
where
code
we
name
play
because you thought it would
as
bring you good luck.
Yes,
a character,
that's exactly right. At least that was
Raiden,
the plan.
who we see in
But I got the name wrong. The one they
Metal
escaped in
Gear
was Harry.
Solid
Tom was
2
one of the unlucky
for the
tunnels.
first time.
It was discovered by the Nazis before it was finished. I watched the movie again just to make sure. In fact, I even ordered the actual film from the movie company.
Yeah, it doesn't
There we
sound like
go.
the greatest name to use. So what should I call you?
You know, let's just use Zero, like we've been doing all along.
All right, then. Major Zero it is. We'll start over from square one.
From square zero. My frequency is 140.85. Oh, I almost forgot. Paramedic is with us again on this mission.
Is this her last chance, too?
If we fail, she'll have her medical license revoked. It's more or less the same kind of fate. Her frequency is the same as during the Virtuous mission, 145.73. She'll be recording your mission data as well, just like the last time. That frequency is also the same, 140.96. And there's one more person on your support team. His name is Mr. Sigint. He's an expert on the latest in weapons and equipment technology. You'll be going up against some of the world's most advanced weaponry when you infiltrate the research facility. If you have any questions, just ask him. His frequency is 148.41.
Mr. Sigint. Got it.
Adam, your KGB contact, is waiting for you at the abandoned factory up ahead.
The same factory Sokolov was being held in last week.
Yes, meet up with Adam first. He's cleared the way for you to rescue Sokolov.
How'll I know this Adam guy when I see him?
You'll know once you reach the factory. The whole area's been polluted by the fallout from that nuclear blast. No one else would dare come close. The password is, "Who are the Patriots?" and Lali Lulelo.
Lali Lulelo. Gotcha.
You've been equipped with a 45 for this mission. Be careful, it's noisy.
I thought standard Fox procedure was procure on-site weapons acquisition.
The circumstances are different this time. You're now on an official mission for the United States government. It would be necessary to make your presence known to a certain extent, to the Khrushchev regime at the very least. But remember, this is still a sneaking mission. Snake, if you fail this mission, it will mean an all-out nuclear war. Keep that in mind and proceed with extreme caution.
Understood. Commencing Operation Snake Eater.
Alright, so hopefully I'll be able to sneak a little bit better in this one. Mainly because I'll actually be paying attention, so dividing my attention between like chat and the bitrate and the game. So we'll see. Ooh, there's a snaky snake there. Oh, sneaky snake. Sneaky snake. Where'd you go? Oh, there we go. Where's that vine? Nope, snake. Sneaky snake. Alright, so here we go here. Dremujij North. Alright. There we go. Sneaky sneak. Ah, that's right. I have to actually drop down here. So, one of the things that they have... one of the things they have in this game is the Kerotons. So basically little frog statues that look like Keropi from Hello Kitty that you actually have to find and shoot or knife to sort of activate them. And if you miss the Keroton in this area here at the start of this sequence in the game, you'll actually miss out on it for forever because there's no way of actually getting back here. Is Keroton. Keroton! Anyhow, since I don't actually have the Gakko camouflage, I won't be able to actually hunt them down because that actually helps give a noise notification when they're actually around. You'll actually hear the kero kero. So you'll be able to see them and actually hunt them down. But since we're just doing a playthrough, gonna go ahead and not worry about that because as you can see here, there are no trees to actually get back up that cliff face, so you don't have a way of actually getting back up there, unfortunately. Is that a horse? In Russia? Those wild Russian horses.
Looks like death wasn't ready for you yet.
Boss.
That arm still hurt?
What are you doing here?
Go home. Go home. Gru and my sons are waiting up ahead. You don't have a prayer of finishing your mission. You're not even armed.
Boss!
I'm not your boss anymore. There's nothing for you here. Go home. Go back to your boss. There's no need to prove that you are virtuous here. This isn't America. That should stir things up a bit. You'd better hurry.
Now, in what world would bullets actually tumble like that,
The border is
coming
60
out
miles
of
south
a
here.
firearm?
You ought to be able to run that far.
Because that just does not seem very effective. You'd end up keyholing everything.
Why'd you defect?
I mean, if it's smoothbore, maybe.
I'm loyal to the end, to my purpose. What about you, Jack? What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me? Your country or your old mentor? The mission or your beliefs? Your duty to your unit or your personal feelings? You don't know the truth yet. But sooner or later, you'll have to choose. I don't expect you to forgive me. But you can't defeat me either. You know me too well. Just look at that bandana. If you can't put the past behind you, you won't survive long. If we meet again, I'll kill you.
So the boss ended up breaking his arm, throwing him off of a bridge, field stripping his gun twice, blowing his cover by blowing up the horses are pretty cool.
This is Snake. Major Zero.
And now she just
I
had
read you,
her
Snake.
horse
I was
trample
ambushed
his
by the
hand.
boss.
You were what?
The drone's been shot to hell. It's up in flames.
That's not good. Enemy scouts are going to come looking for you.
Yeah, I know. But what was the boss doing here in the first place? There's got to be a leak somewhere.
No, that's impossible. The man the boss is working with, Volgin, isn't exactly on speaking terms with Khrushchev.
I lost my gun. The boss destroyed it.
Snake, I know how you're feeling. It's hard for me to believe, too, that a legendary hero like the boss would go over to the Russians. That she'd double-cross us like this. But that's how it is, and if you don't accept it, you'll never be able to beat her.
That's not the problem. In terms of sheer technique, I'll never be able to beat her. I know that all too well.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your objective.
Enemy? We were together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy?
Enough. Hurry to the factory where Adam is waiting. Scouts have probably already been sent out to investigate the explosion. You've lost your weapon, right? That means you've got no chance of winning in a battle situation. Whatever you do, don't let them see you.
Alright, so this really is a procure on-site solo sneaking mission. There's the radio. What was I actually looking for? I was looking for the map. Alright. So, there I am. There's a topographical map. So I need to head north.
What the hell is this?
HQ, HQ.
All right.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We have evidence of an enemy intruder. Commence alert formation.
Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements. Use extra caution.
Since I don't have a weapon, I am gonna have to be very sneaky. Sneak, sneak, sneak! And as you can probably tell, there is a camo index. So how hidden I am from the enemies is up in the upper right of the game screen. Whoop. Burb. Burb. More burbs. Alright, so... Oh, is that... Another sneak. A little sneaky snake. Alright. Down here. And I think... one of the cooler items is going to be located... No. Where is that? So there's no hollow log there. It's been so many years since I've actually played this game, I don't quite remember where everything was. But I do know roughly where things would be if my memory if my memory were better, I'd remember where things were. Wait. Alright, so... This place probably looks familiar to some of you that saw me in my terrible first attempt to actually sneak through. Pop up. Let's go ahead. Okay, so there's one guy heading that way. Two guys heading that way. Oh, no. One heading up, one heading down. So I'm probably gonna want to pop down now. Alright. Okie dokie, so I'll into the grass here. Okay, so there's that guy. He's actually on the radio.
No problems detected.
Understood. Resume your patrol.
Alright. Shh, shh. No one's here. No one's here. Shh. Alright, so here we go here. And... Okay.
Who's that?
Frick.
Radio, where's our backup?
So the radio guy is unconscious, so... Let's go ahead and avoid the heat for a little bit.
HQ, HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We've lost sight of the intruder, going into high alert.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
What the?
Somebody there? Who's that? Radio, get up!
Alright, so that could have gone better. There we go. Cardboard box. Huh.
Sorry I'm late.
Cut the engine. They'll hear us.
Are you the agent they sent?
Are you Adam? I thought you were supposed to be a man.
Adam couldn't make it.
All right, say the password. Who are the Patriots? Who are the Patriots? Answer me! Trapped.
Get down! There is your answer. The name's Eva.
Oh my. Mr. Snake, eyes up here.
This wasn't part of the plan. What happened to Adam?
What's your code name?
It's Snake.
Snake, huh? Well, I'm Eva. Are you here to tempt me?
What happened to Adam?
Colonel Volgin is a very suspicious man. He decided Adam wasn't the right person for this mission.
And you were.
Yes,
Why?
because I can do things he can't.
I heard you used to be a codebreaker for the NSA.
I was. 4 years ago, I defected to the Soviet Union with Adam.
Mauser military. The broom handle.
It packs quite a punch. Nice to have when you're on a bike.
You held it sideways and used the muzzle jump to create a horizontal sweep. That was impressive.
Bet you've never seen that technique in the West.
It's imitation, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a Chinese Type 17 pistol. Around here, even that's hard to come by. Don't worry, though. The one I've got for you is American-made.
So now we get to hear Snake
45,
cream over a gun.
Incredible.
Do you like it?
The feeding ramp is polished to a mirror sheen. The slide's been reinforced, and the interlock with the frame is tightened for added precision. The sight system is original too. The thumb safety is extended to make it easier on the finger. A long type trigger with non-slip grooves. A ring hammer. The base of the trigger guard's been filed down for a higher grip. And not only that, nearly every part of this gun has been expertly crafted and customized.
Ammo comes separate.
Where'd you get something like this?
I grabbed it from a Western munitions armory. It probably used to belong to one of your officers, and there are more where that came from. You had this with you, didn't you? Better take this too.
What's that?
A disguise to make you look like a scientist.
A disguise?
Yes. You're here to rescue Sokolov, right?
Sokolov's still safe then?
Yes. He's being forced to continue his work on the Shagohod.
Where?
At the lab. They've got a whole army of scientists there developing new weapons. Security is tight, but if you disguise yourself as a scientist, you might be able to sneak in.
Can we get Sokolov out of there?
We'll see, won't we?
Tell me how to get to the lab.
The safest way in is from the rear. First, you'll need to head north through the jungle. You'll come to a heliport used for shipping materials. Pass the heliport and continue north, and there will be a large crevice. Descend into that area, and you'll reach a cave. Move through the cave, and you will arrive at a mangrove swamp. After the swamp, there'll be a warehouse. Make your way through the warehouse, and you'll come out just south of the lab.
Got it.
And just what are you doing there?
In close-range combat, a knife can sometimes be more useful than a gun. By doing this, I'll be able to hold a knife at the same time and still keep the gun steady. That way, I can instantly switch between a gun battle and a knife fight. Right, let's get going.
Wait a minute.
What now?
You must be tired. Why don't you take a little rest?
I'll be fine.
You'll never make it in your condition. It's a jungle out there.
It is a jungle
There's
out
still
there.
an hour before dawn. It's dangerous to be out in the jungle at night without a guide.
What about you?
I have to get back. I can't be gone for too long. They'll start to suspect something. Don't worry. I'll keep you updated over the radio.
That's it?
My orders are to provide you with information, nothing more. You look disappointed. All right, then. I'll do something special for you. I'll stand watch until dawn. Now be a good boy and lie down. What's the matter?
I don't know you well enough to trust you.
Oops.
How well do you have
Minor
to know me to
adjustment.
trust me?
I don't know if I can trust anybody.
Gonna get that?
She's right, Snake. You should get some sleep. Although in your condition, you really ought to be back in the ICU.
Again.
Whenever you save the
He
game
had his
and
arm
quit,
broken.
you'll go to
He was
sleep.
thrown off of a
Sleeping allows
bridge.
you to gain back stamina naturally. Depending on
He
how
was
long you
nuked.
sleep, you may also recover naturally from sickness
He was
and
flipped
injury.
over his head after
When you're
a
tired
hard
or hurt,
landing
the best thing to do is
from
just
the
get some
drone.
sleep. So do yourself a favor and take a nap.
And he
Doctor's
had a
orders,
week after
okay?
getting nuked for,
Okay.
this. So, probably needs to take a nap. And also, since it is actually getting close to close to the time that I would normally need to get ready for work, I am going to have to leave, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and find some place for me to raid, because I do have friends that I enjoy streaming and sharing things with. So let's go ahead and skip that. And thank you so much for showing up, guys. I really appreciated it. Yeah, Jen, you should take a nap. During that pesky work and 6 hours of work, I've got an 11-hour shift, so I can completely relate to that. But if anyone does want to help out someone else, we're going to go ahead and raid someone. Let's go ahead and raid. Since they were so wonderful and actually stopped by, let's go raid Hexwitch. Alright, here we go.